Okay, everybody, this is day 3.2 Photoshop. We're going to look at the pen tool and the shape tool. Relatively easy. You should know these things, you being the Illustrator gurus you are from first semester. But the pen tool, I'm just going to go over really quickly. As you can see, they're all there. The pen tool, the Freedom pen tool, the curvature tool. Of course, Freedom pen tool is just free forming. And I'll just kind of show you, just drawing, bring it in, and it's done. Now, when you draw anything with the pen tool, up top you will see that it says it's the freeform tool. It says shape, path, or pixels. Always keep it in shape. Then you can actually give it a color, change things up, even give it a stroke, change those up, which is really nice. Those are some of the cool things that you can do with it. If you really wanted to, you can continue drawing and you can combine the shapes, subtract. These all look similar like Pathfinder in Illustrator, but I'm not too concerned with these. Um, we will go over some other things later, but that's how the freeform tool is. Come back over here, come down. We also have, we know what the curvature tool is. Some of you guys used it before. It is more like you click, and then of course, you start seeing how it curves and it looks really nice. Again, come and finish your shape. You want to make sure that it is a closed shape. That's something that's very important. You know it. And notice you can look at the icon, it shows that it's a curvature. So it's pretty cool. But most of you guys will, let's get rid of these two shapes. Uno, dos. Let's come here and go to the pen tool. It is the same thing. I click, you could actually see it. I'm left clicking and drawing out the actual oars or handles, as they call them, as Illustrator calls them, and it is following suit. And I have a lot of control, and it is brilliant. Now, this is white. Again, come to the end. Make sure the circle is there. It is a complete shape. Do not give me those empty shapes because you'll have a hard time later. But it works out really well. Let's change this just to let's go to a kind of a off blue like that. But it works well. I can actually add anchors. So if I come up here, click, notice it's the pen tool with a plus. I'm adding an anchor in there. Notice it's curved because I can see the actual handles here and here. I can subtract if I want to. It's minus. Boop, boop. Is this it right here? No, it's right there. Subtract it. I can even go just like like we did in Illustrator. I can convert the points. So if I don't like this curve here, I want this to be a straight line. 1, 2. Notice it's a straight line now. Yes, this is still a curve. I'd have to come here and manipulate this a little bit more, but I can change it, or I can go vice versa. Click on it, and I can make it a curve again. And it works out brilliantly. Now, if you want to, we can go one step further. You'll see just below the type tool, we have the path selection tool, or if you hold it down, the direct select tool. So I can come here, click on my point, and adjust and manipulate that shape real easy. Just a quick going over this as we did in Illustrator, but I want you to do this because you will probably need this tool in our first project. So works out well. Absolutely think it's brilliant. I think it's great. So there's your pen tool and your direct select and path select tool. They're very, very good. If you need to, there's small tutorials, but that's what I'm doing this for. So the next tool we're going to look at is, and let me remove this. You're going to come down here and it's going to be the shape tool. And they're the same: rectangle, rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygon tool. All of them are the same. The only thing is up here, if I do it, make sure it's a shape. It's not a path or a pixel. We want it to shape. With the polygon, here are my sides up here on the far top. And we have it right here. I can give it a stroke if I need to. Let's just change it. Give it this color here. I click, I drag, and notice it's 3 sides, so I have a triangle. Works out brilliantly. And that's something I'm looking for. One thing that is, if you're making a shape, if you come over here to my layers, you're going to see this gray little, and let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. Come down here to my panel options. We will make it bigger so you can see it a little easier. Notice you see this little gray box right here. That means it is still vector artwork. And I'm okay with it. You can leave it as vector artwork in your your project. But if you want to manipulate with some of these other things like the clone stamp or the eraser or anything else that we've been using before, you're going to have to convert it into a rasterized shape or convert it into pixels. That's very simple. It's a matter of clicking on the word, not the thumbnail, but the word, and coming up here and saying rasterize layer. Notice now that square is gone and I can do almost anything with it. Say if I want to erase it, I can erase it. I can do all kinds of cool things with it. But if it is a smart object, as they call it down here, it is, or a shape, is something we cannot do. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So let's get rid of that, download that, and let's go to the last shape. I mean, we have our line tool, looks good, but the custom shape tool is another cool tool. It's a matter of me doing freeform drawing. Oh, no, it's not. That was with the pen tool. It's something different. Just like in Photopea, there is something different with this. Again, it's a shape. It's my freeform tool, but you'll see the shapes over here on the top over here. I'm circling, and it says shapes. And it's pretty cool. So let me Control Z that. I click down here, and you're going to see that it has leaf trees, wild animals, boats, flowers, and then I actually added this one. As you can see, it says shapes for free. You could actually add those, and I'll talk that in a minute. But let's come here to boats. I know that Marley Rubin loves her sailboats, so we're going to do a couple cool sailboats. And Marley, I hope I pick a good one. I'm going to do an old-fashioned one, I believe. And I come here, I click, I drag, and notice there's a boat. There's an actual sailboat. And it's really, really cool. Notice it has the actual triangle here, the little rectangle here, telling me that it is a shape of some sorts. I can do all kinds of cool things. I can actually put effects on it if I want to, like we did with the with our fonts. I can do all kinds of cool things. Let's see, we want to bevel and emboss this monster. Notice how cool that looks. We can give it the drop shadow if we want to too. And we can have a little bit of fun with this. That's a way too big. Depth, size. Oh, guess what, people? Did not click on my drop shadow. So foolish me. So it's our distance, way too much, and our spread. Oh, look, it's so much better. And we got this nice little soft drop shadow. And it looks pretty cool. So I really, really like this, and it's pretty neat. So let's go back and do what I did again after I put those effects and everything on it. Kind of look distracted, but that's typical for me. As you know, again, I come up here to the top. So you see the shape. It's got my fill, my stroke, you know, what my stroke can be. I can even put a dotted line stroke on here, which is kind of neat. You should know that. We're going to come to our shapes, and we have all these boats. Or we got wild animals, which I've got monkeys, I've got elephants and things like that. I'm going to give a shout out to Josh Shore. He kind of found these before I did, and kudos to you, Josh. I appreciate it. Now I understand it. We even got trees, all kinds of cool trees. And again, I put in arrows and these shapes for free. You can go online and you can type in, shapes for Photoshop, and that's what I did. And it's a matter of coming here to the right-hand side, and it will say import your shapes. And what it's going to do, it's going to look for a specific where it says CHS, custom shapes. And then you can see where mine says arrow shapes for free that I had downloaded. And I just uploaded them. And it just says load. And it actually goes in there. And it will stay there for you. These shapes will also, these CHS shapes will also work in Photopea, which I think's really, really cool. I put arrows in there because these are some of the things that I'm looking for my next project. So that's what I did it. But these are some of the cool things that you should be playing with and playing around before we start our first project. I will be presenting that on day 4 and get you guys heading and going through getting used to this e-learning. I hope you guys are doing well. I am enjoying this. I know you're not seeing my face, but you hear my voice and you're probably getting sick of it. But please stay strong, take care of your families, and you guys take care of yourselves. I miss you guys big time, and life is good, and we'll get back together soon. Have a good day.